Well, hello, and good evening, YouTube fans. This is Caron Bailey, your independent demonstrator with Stampin' Up. And tonight I'm here to share with you a couple of good things. For those of you that are coming back and joining me, welcome back. Sit back, relax, and enjoy. For those of you who are joining me for the very first time, thank you for spending a couple hours with me tonight as I share and create with you. As always, I try to take care of some of the admin things up front. So here we go. Guys, anything that you see me demonstrate tonight, if it's available, I will let you know because I'm kind of jumping back in time a little bit. But anything that you see that I'm using tonight, please don't hesitate to reach out or purchase them online at www.sweetsignatures.stampinup.net. That is my website, my online store, and when you shop, please use the host code for the month, AUJYD67P as in Paul. You guys, if you're spending $149 or less, use the hostess code. For any orders that you make on the website for $150 or more, reach out to me. Let me help you get the most bang for your buck with the hostess rewards. All right, so every month I try to do a free gift with purchase. So when you place an order, for every order of $50 or more, I will send you a free gift as a thank you for shopping with me in my online store and supporting my small business. One of the other ways that there are many ways that you can support my small business, you guys, one of which is to watch my YouTube lives, subscribe, share, and like my videos, interact with me either on my videos as well, on my blog, through my newsletters, on my Facebook page. Any interaction with me is perfect. Join my team, you guys. If you love a discount, joining my team gets you a 20% initially discount on all Stampin' Up products when you purchase. It gets you the opportunity to see all of Stampin' Up products live and in person and before anyone else gets to see them. And you also get to participate in some Stampin' Up activities that's exclusive to demonstrators. As always, you guys, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to my channel. I want to start today by sharing with you the first Sunday of every month. I get together with some friends of mine and we do our shoebox swap. Now I host a shoebox swap, and in our shoebox swap, I pick a theme for the month, and depending on how many people were there, we create cards, design these cards, and then create card kits for the number of people that are in attendance. And then we get together on the designated day, in our case, the first Sunday of the month, and we get together and we create each other's cards. Let me share with you some of the products, some of the cards that were created on Sunday. All right, so now the theme for this month in our shoebox was patriotic. So you had to use, it was patriotic, and then you had to incorporate or the colors red, white, blue, of course, or green military colors. So this was one of our swappers, and this was created by Charlotte. Charlotte did a great job. And Charlotte is my queen of paper and layering. Excuse me. She has this awesome knack for putting cards together or design or papers together that I just lack, which is why most of my cards you will not see a lot of DSP, just because I don't have that knack for layering them like she does. But I love this card, this very simple, great card. The next card I'm going to share, this was created by one of the other stampers, Miss Elaine. And she, again, most everybody chose to go with the red, white, and blue theme for for purposes. And of course, she had some watercoloring opportunities in this card. Love it. Awesome. One of my favorite cards of the day, and it was just beautiful in its simplicity, was this one. And this was created by Mary. Mary did an awesome job. Just simple red, white, and blue, and then some gold stars, and then I popped it up a little bit with a splash of red, and then a silver celebrate. I love it. It's just gorgeous. I don't know if you can see. And of course, she embossed each of the panels. Great card, Mary. Love it. Thank you for creating that card. The next card, this was done by Gail. Gail is a what did she say? Tailored Expressions is where she got the most of her products for her card. But I still love it, you guys. Even though it's not Stampin' Up, I love the card. And I love the sentiment, of course. God bless America. Great job, Gail. Absolutely love it. There were 6 of us, myself included. And then the last one that we have is, this was done by Rebecca. And this is what happens when you don't follow instructions, right? But I love the wreath. And of course, the sentiment we're going to put on the inside. Now, I think I'm the only one that kind of went rogue a little bit. Being in the military and the Army in particular, black and gold, black and yellow is the Army colors. And so I kind of went the route of, this was an old retired Stampin' Up set. And May is the month of Memorial Day, and of course my brother-in-law passed, retired military, and I thought this card was beautiful, appropriate for my sister, just to show her that I was still thinking about her and her husband during that time. Not quite sure what sentiment I'm going to put on here yet, but the base of my card is absolutely done. So these were our cards that we did for our shoebox swap for May, with the patriotic theme happening there. All right, so without further ado, you guys, let's get started with tonight's projects. Let me put these away. Now, Artistically Inked is the stamp set that we're working with today. It's been, I want to say, 3 catalogs now. Oh, before I forget, I just posted on my blog, you guys, the link to get the color coach from Stampin' Up. And what is the color coach, you guys? The color coach is that thing that helps you. Sometimes we just get stuck on how to put colors together, and Stampin' Up has just given us some ideas. And this is updated, of course. We just did a color refresh, and so there's a link on my blog as to how to download these cards to make the most of them. And so you're looking, if your main color that you're using is Cherry Cobbler, it just shows you that Cherry Cobbler can pair with Boho Blue, Pecan Pie, Cajun Craze, Crushed Curry, Old Olive, and Mossy Meadows. You could put those in color combinations as you wish. And as you can see, here's here's a couple of the new colors, the Wild Wheat. And I made a mistake. I printed on both sides, so I'm going to have to fix that for my own copies. But you can see the Wild Wheat and how Wild Wheat pairs with which colors, and Lemon Lolly as well. All right, so that is available for you on the website as of today. Not on the website, on my blog. And then Paper Pumpkin changed today. There's a new, I thought I had printed it, but I don't see it here. But the new Paper Pumpkin subscription month begins today, or began today. And I'm excited for it. All right, Artistically Ink is found on page 114. So let's go there. And I'm not really going to case the catalog. For one, this kind of stamping right here is just really busy for me. This is just not what I tend to do. So nothing about it was floating my boat. So I decided I still wanted to use Artistically ink because it's a stamp set that I have had for, I can't even begin to tell you how long. So I need to be able to start using it. Anyway, I think someone has joined me. If you've joined me, definitely pop in, say hello. Let me know where you're joining me from. Just say hello, chat with me. So again, Artistically Ink is on page 114 of the annual catalog. It is a cling mount stamp, and there are 12 stamps in the set. It is a distinctive die, as you can tell from the code. And in addition to it being distinctive, you guys, there are coordinating dies. Now, back when this set debuted, it was the 10% off because it was a bundle. Now you can purchase the stamp and die separately and independently. All right, so let's go. I'm kind of gonna shoot. I don't want to say shoot from the cuff. I have some ideas of some things that I want to do. So let's get cracking and creating with the Artistically Inked bundle. All right, so the first card that I want to make is, hold on. I'm going to start with this one. And I'm doing something for me that's a little different. I don't normally work with Very Vanilla as a color, but hey, I have it. So let's use it and see what we have. So the pieces that we're going to need for this card that we're going to create today are, I am using a piece of Hello Irresistible. Is the this was from the online exclusive. Hey Becca, how are you? Thank you, darling. This was from the online exclusive designer series paper pack, and this is a piece that is 2.5 by 3 3/4. And I'm going to mat this on a piece that's 1/8 bigger. So that's going to be 2 5/8 by 3 7/8. And I chose to use pumpkin pie is what I'm using to coordinate with this one. Then I'm going to need a piece of Very Vanilla that is 4 by 5 1/4. And then my Very Vanilla card base that is 8.5 by 5 1/2, and we're going to score this at 4 1/4. So let's get started with our card base, our cards. So this is a fairly simple card. So all I'm going to do is go ahead and I'm going to add some adhesive. And I do liquid glue, but you guys do you. If you prefer adhesive tape, then go use adhesive tape. I absolutely have to use liquid glue. I just have to use it. Y'all know that I can't do anything straight, and I need that little extra wiggle room to make sure that I line everything up as straight as I possibly can. All right, so this is what we're going to do with this card. So that's the first thing, is we're going to mat that. Put this off to the side. So again, just for reference sake, if you are writing, I am going to write a blog. I haven't written the blog yet. So the pieces are 2.5 by 3 3/4 and 2 5/8 by 3 7/8. Okay. Now all you're going to do is mat them together. Then we're going to set them aside. Now taking this 4 by 5 1/4, what I want to do is I'm going to just make sure that I kind of lay this guy out where I want this to be, where I think it's going to be. Now, one of the keys that I do things with grid lines is to make sure that I can line them up, right? So here's my grid line right here. And I'm going to leave a little bit of a border at the top, maybe about 1/4 of an inch on each side or on the top. so that I have space on the bottom, okay? So this is gonna be about right here. I'm not gonna keep it centered, but I am gonna put it about evenly. And I'm using that just for spacing purpose, okay? So if you watch my blog, the blog hop, the Stamping with Friends blog hop that I participated in on Sunday, you'll see that the technique that was used was embossing with dye. And I'm gonna do that tonight, share that with you, because I didn't do a video with it when I did my video. Okay, so what makes it a little bit easier is I'm using a Stampin' Spritzer. This is filled with some water, and I'm going to just spritz my cardstock. And the only reason I'm going to spritz my cardstock is because I just don't want it to crack the paper. Okay, so I'm going to spritz it, get it a little damp. Doesn't have to be wet, but a little damp. And then I'm going to lay out my dies. And I'm using, I don't know what this is called, but this is like a wavy embossed or wavy stitched die. So I'm going to lay this down. I'm going to lay this down. You know what I needed? I should have done that before, but that's okay. We'll figure it out at the end. I should have stamped my sentiment first, but I didn't. All right, I'm going to get my dies laid out where I need them to be laid out. Make sure they're even. Then I'm going to go in with some of my green tape to make sure they don't move when I put them through the die cut machine. Okay. Make sure I have it as evenly spaced as I can make it. Okay. Now I'm going to put this here. Now, because I'm using these, I'm going to use a die embossing technique. This is not going to cut at all. Let me go grab my Stampin' Cut and Emboss. All right. So for this technique, you're going to need, the sandwich that you use, it's going to be based upon your machine. Okay, so you're going to have to figure that out for yourself in terms of what your machine will do. But for this machine, here's what worked for me. Okay, now we're going to use plate number 1. We're going to put a cutting plate down, and for me, that's my magic mat. And then Stampin' Up used to sell these embossing mats, and I had them for the longest time and I never used them. And then when I was doing this technique on Sunday, it made sense, right? All right, so I'm going to put the gray one down first, the thicker. Then I'm going to put my cardstock with the dies. And then I'm going to put the blue sheet on top. And then cutting plate number 3. And then we're just going to run this through the die cutting machine, and it should emboss our cardstock. Not cut, it should emboss it. Okay. And that's just another way to get the most out of your dies. That's just another use for them. All right, let's put this aside. Let's see what we have. Let's remove. And put these aside. All right. So when we remove this, you will see that we have embossed our cardstock. And we didn't cut it. I didn't want to rip my paper, so I'm just being a little extra careful. A little extra careful so I don't rip or tear my cardstock. All right. So this is what we end up with at the end of the day after we have used our die to emboss our cardstock. Perfect. All right, so next thing we're gonna do, this is gonna end up going in the middle. And I should have stamped my sentiment before. Maybe it'll fit right here, but I might end up just stamping the sentiment on a piece of, I may just stamp the sentiment on a piece of cardstock and then add that later. All right, so we're not almost done with the, well, not really. So let's put this aside. And I'm gonna go stamp now. And the colors I'm gonna use in this one are Calypso Coral and Pale Papaya. Okay. And I'm going to stamp, let's go with this guy right here. Yeah. Grab me a block. Now this is distinctive. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to stamp first with my Pale Papaya. That is my lightest shade. And because it's distinctive, it's automatically going to, well, let me show you what it's going to do. Let me grab a piece of scratch paper. So it's automatically going to give you highlights where it needs to be. All right. Oh, my Pale Papaya is very juicy. So here you go. Okay. But I'm also going to go in, once I've added my Pale Papaya, and I'm going to go in and add an extra added dimension by adding in some Calypso Coral. I'm looking for, all right, let's kind of tap on the outer edges. Just to add just a little bit more color. Okay. And we're going to huff on it. And then we're just going to stamp. So it should add a different color, a different dimension to the stamp. You see? So we had just the Pale Papaya by itself, and then we added a little bit more shading and highlighting with the Calypso Coral cardstock. All right, so we're gonna let this dry, and I'm gonna heat set it. Just a tad. Then I'm gonna cut this out and run it through the embossing machine. Now there's some other things that I want to run through the embossing machine, so I'm just gonna get those ready. So we have that. We are going to run some leaves through the die cutting machine. I'm gonna cut this, and am I missing something? 8 dies right there. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. I'm missing a die somewhere. Somehow I'm missing a die. All right, so we'll just make this work for us for tonight. All right. Then I'm just gonna cut a piece of cardstock. So that it can fit through the mini Stampin' Cut and Emboss machine. All right, so let's grab our mini and get. I'm needing to do plates. I tend to wear out my plates. Oh, wait. I'm still missing my plates. Hold on, you guys. Might end up having to go to the big boss because I don't know where I put my plates. All right, so we're going to big boss it. I know I put my plates down somewhere, and I don't know where that somewhere is. All right. So again, we're going to need our plates. Our number 2 plate. Sorry, our number 3 plate. We're going to need our number 2 plate. And I absolutely love my magic mat in it's self-healing, which is the most perfect part of it. So the first thing on the mat is plate number 1, plate number 2, cutting plate, and then we're going to die cut this one. We're going to put both of them on here because we can. Okay. Grab this, and let's grab this on the plate, and then let's grab the die. Get this die cut out. Okay, I'm gonna just go grab a piece of green tape for the smaller flower. I don't mind about the big leaf because it is just on paper. I didn't stamp anything, so it doesn't matter if it shifts a little bit. But I don't want my flower to shift too much. I want it to be evenly spaced on all sides. All right, so there's that. Let's put the plate on. Let's get the boss machine in, and let's get this done. Okay. Is everybody having a good week today? A good week? I telework 2 days a week, and my schedule changed this week. One of my coworkers retired. Her last day is tomorrow, and so normally I telework Thursday and Friday. But because we had her celebration today, we had to make some adjustments so that we were all in the office to say goodbye to her or to do the celebration. All right, so let's put this aside. Now I'm going to leave this on there. And the only reason I'm going to leave it on there is because I can already see that there's like 1,000,001 little pieces that's going to need to be brushed out. I know I have a brush in here somewhere. There it is. And I'm going to do this off screen just so that everything can go in the bin, okay? There's no magic of television when I'm live. It's all happening in real time. All right. Can't quite get them all. So I'm going to poke out the rest. I think the die did a pretty good job. The machine and the die did a really good job with getting most of it out. Okay. All right, so we're going to end up trimming this, but I want to, not sure where I'm going to do what. So let's trim it. Let's keep it in whole and then see how things are going to line up. All right. So we're going to have this here. About there. And then we're going to have this go like so. And then we're going to have this go like so. I think that's what I'm going to do. All right, so now that we know that, let's get this going. All right. So what I'm going to do also, you guys, is again, I know, isn't that leaf awesome? And is it going to fit in here? No. I love my Xyron machine, but it's not going to fit. Okay. And I did not do the smart thing and put my adhesive back, a double-sided sticky tape on there. All right, so let's do this. I know we're going to end up doing this. So really, I don't need a whole lot. There's so many easy ways to do this, right? So let's grab our reversible tweezers. And we're just going to add adhesive. Put my pen back in, and because I didn't put my pen back in, I tell you, I love this glue, but it's not just this one. I love liquid glue, but I find the only one that really doesn't do it is it's Tombow. All right, so let's get this going. And we're going to put our adhesive primarily down the center. And maybe a little bit here, a little bit here. Okay. And what I'm going to do is now I'll lay this on this piece of cardstock where I think it should go. I want it to be like that. And then if I need to add more adhesive, then I will. Now, the only reason I'm not too concerned about it being all down is because this is going to go on dimensionals. Okay, so now I see that I'm going to need a little bit of adhesive right here. So I'm going to put some here. I can see I need a little bit of adhesive right here. So I'm going to put some there. Like that. I'm going to put a little bit of adhesive there. Stay put. Stay put. Then I'm going to put another piece right here. Okay. And then I'm going to put some right on the back here. Okay. All right, so that part's done. Make sure I put my little pin back in. And then I'm going to add my dimensionals. And I call them dimensionals, pop dots, pop-ups, whatever you want to call them. And I use so much of them, you guys. Like I said, I am always trying to figure out new products. I saw this on Amazon, and they're from 3M, and they're perfect little squares. They're not too small. They're not too big. They're just perfect. And for a dimensional holic like I am, they work perfectly. Right? And if you know me, you know that I'm going to use 6 of them. Right? All right, so that's on there. And I don't want to put this on here. I'm still trying to figure this out in terms of, where'd my flower go? Oh, here it is. Okay, so I'm going to put the flower right here. What I'm still trying to figure out is my sentiment, right? Because I really didn't want this to be too paper intensive. All right, so what do I need this month? I think I need some birthdays. Okay, so I'm gonna just put happy birthday right in here. You guys, I'm gonna find my Misty or my Stamparatus. And you know, we don't do our Stamparatus anymore. It's no longer sold by Stampin' Up. But I'm gonna use it because in this particular instance, because I've already embossed the cardstock, I'm pretty sure that it's not going to be as smooth. So I may have to double stamp it or multi-stamp it just to make sure that it is just to make sure that it does stay where it's supposed to stay. Now I'm gonna put the I'm gonna put everything on here because, oh no, this is upside down. Because I need to be able to line it up, my sentiment, right? And that's gonna go up there about like so. And if that's there, then this can go here, be centered. Okay. Now we can pick this up. Okay. Now we're just gonna add our VersaFine Clear. I was gonna use black, but I'm gonna use VersaFine Clear in this color is called Pine Cone. And I'm using the brown color just because of the Calypso Coral. It just seems to make more sense to me to use that color rather than black in this instance. Although black goes with almost everything, that's kind of my preference. Okay. I am going to stamp it again. I think I got a pretty good impression, but I just want to make it there, and hopefully I don't mess it up. All right. Hopefully I don't mess it up. And there we go. Look at how much crisper that is, you guys. Perfect, perfect. All righty. So now let's just get this put together, and we're almost done with this card. Here we go. Take your pick. Let's get this guy. Change out my take your pick tool with the pick end rather than the spatula end. So you guys, this week I'm finished with my spring semester classes, and I am excited about that. Let me tell you why. There was one class that I just did not think that I was doing. I mean, I'm not failing. I didn't think I was failing, but I just didn't think that I was doing as well as I was in some of my other classes. But y'all, I got a B in the class, and I'm excited about that. Isn't that exciting? I got a B, and then my other class, one of my other classes, I have an A, which is even more fabulous. Hello. And then my last class, my last exam is it's scheduled for Saturday, and as of today I am an A in the class, so hopefully I don't screw up too bad and I am able to keep my A, so then I'll have like 2 A's and a B for the semester. Isn't that amazing? I think that is just wonderful. All right, so now, here we go. So this is done. I don't think Jen is watching, but a friend of mine, I have a custom order for a Mother's Day card. 2 of them, actually. Now, do you think I should just put this, or should I pop that up as well? What do you think? I think I am going to just put it on as is. No dimensionals on this one. So again, you guys saw that I use that technique of using my dies as an embossing rather than just for die cutting. And that's what I use to get the little bit of the added texture to this card front that I'm adding here. Okay. Make sure it adheres. And don't forget the tip if you're going to do the technique is it helps really a lot if you Thanks, Beck. I was a little I don't want to say shocked, But hey, you know, sometimes I doubt myself a lot. So, you know, at the end, when I saw the grades that I was getting, I was just like, oh my God, this is amazing. So happy about that. All right, and then now that the semester is over, I am registering for some summer classes because I am sure trying to get this degree done, and I'm going for the paralegal program at the college. So I am trying to get that done. Let's get this done. And I'm at a crossroads with the program. So if I do the associate's degree, then I got a lot of classes left, a lot. But if I just decide to do the advanced certificate, I have about 3 more classes that I need to do. So I'm just at a crossroads. Do I just go and finish and get the degree? I mean, I have a master's degree, but do I go and get the degree, or do I just do the certificate? What do you think? Certificate or degree? Tell me what you think. All right, and so now I'm just gonna add, I'm gonna go with this one. One, 2, and 3. And these are retired. These are the brushed metallic adhesive back dots. Love them. And there we go. So this is our first card for tonight, guys. This is our first card. I think we did a great job. Now we can move on to the second. I always try to give you guys 2 cards, right? All right, so the next card, we're changing color palettes a little bit, a lot actually. Where are my card pieces? I know I pre-cut them earlier. Again, the more Caron tries to, the more I try to be organized, I tell you guys, the less organized I am. Not sure how I got that, but hey, it is what it is. All right, so I did pre-cut my stuff for this card. So let me just take a second and try to find it where I put them. There we go. Here we go. All right. So we're changing color palettes a little bit for this one, and we are going to use basic white now as our card base. We're having a piece of basic white that's 3 1/4 by 4 3/4, and we have a piece of old olive that is 3 3/4 by 5. Okay, and so what I'm going to do with this is there's this one die that's one stamp that's in the set, and I'm going to use that just to add a little tone on tone to my background, just so that my old olive piece is not so blah. Okay, so let me grab that. Let me grab my old olive, and I'm just going to do tone on tone, just to give a little extra to the card. Take that off. Now the thing is, because it's going to be a background and an accent, I really don't need I don't need to do it across the whole stamp. Just pretty much whatever is going to be poking out from behind. Put that. And then I'm going to do that. Ooh, I just made a mess. Didn't make a mess on my card though, but I did make a mess. Then I'm going to do that. And that's pretty much, I think, all I'm going to do for that for now. Okay, so that's done. And then clean this off because I will put my hand in it. Okay. So what I'm going to do next is this. I'm going to need this color right here. Just stamp again. I'm not using the big stamp. I'm just going to keep this one right here. One, because I don't want to break anything else out. Lazy that I am. Clean my stamp off. And now I'm going to bring in some colors, okay? So what's going to happen with this? What did I just do with my basic white piece? Okay. So this is going to go like this. And then this was my scratch. Where's the piece that I cut? Here we go, I think. No. Oh, there it is, right here. And then this is kind of going to go off center, something like that, okay? So that's how that's going to go. But I do need this because I'm going to stamp this in, and I'm going to use one of our new in colors, MoodyMauve, and I'm going to use Fresh Freesia. Fresh Freesia, as you know, is one of the colors that came back, but it's part of the subtles, I believe. It's part of the subtles. All right, so what I'm going to do with this is I'm going to get my cards, my stamped. Now you can do this in a couple of ways. You can do the stamp off, the certificate right backs. I know I'm kind of ready to be done with school and get my life back. So I'm going to stamp the Fresh Freesia. Oh, you know what, you guys? Let's take a look and see. Remember that color coach? So here's something that, here's how you use it, right? So let's find MoodyMauve. And I say mauve. Do you say mauve or do you say mauve? Mauve, mauve, mauve. Okay. I told you I printed it back to front. Oh, here we go. So when it says MoodyMauve, right? Stampin' Up's not thinking Fresh Freesia will go with it. Bubble bath. So I'm gonna go pull out my bubble bath because I may like it. I don't know. Just to see. And bubble bath is a new color as well. And I haven't even set this one up either. Take a look. Hold on. Let's open my bubble bath. Now, the thing about the color coaches, you guys, it is just ideas. You can put whatever color you want together. But that is just a guide as to some colors that would be useful in pairing with those certain colors. So when I get a new ink pad, oh, I lost one. Oh, this one is English. It's all English. So when I get a new ink pad, I typically first, it was still in the thing. So I put one on the label, the very front, so I can see what color it is. And then I grab another one. It doesn't really matter what language it's in. What matters is the color. And so I put that in the well here. Like so. Trying to do this on camera, so you know it's not going to work smoothly, right? Just because I'm trying to do it on camera. And then I'm going to put the last one on the, I don't know why my ink pad looks like that. I'm going to have to call Stampin' Up about that. And then I'm going to put the other one on the ink refill. I saw another demonstrator do that, and I'm like, oh, why didn't I ever think of that? All right, so here's what, this is fresh Freesia. And this one is Bubble Bath. I might use all three. And this one is MoodyMauve. So now I will have a conglomerate of all three. Then I'm going to punch this one. Oh, that's really dark. That's really dark. So let me tell you what this is. This is the result of a very juicy ink pad, okay? That's what this is. And then I'm going to stamp 2 of these Smoky Slate. And I might want to stamp off on this. Let me see how dark Smoky Slate is. Might want to put stamp off on these. Yeah, I'm going to do a couple. Stamped off, it's too light. Okay. All right, so we got everything that we need. Oh, I need some some of the leaves. And I'm going to bring my old olive back in. I'm going to go for maybe about 2 or 3 sets of leaves. One. And here is, no, I'm just going to put it on another sheet. All right. So we're going to, I think in the interest of time, I'm going to just fussy cut them. They're simple enough that I can fussy cut them real fast. And again, as I always tell you when I'm fussy cutting, for me, the key with fussy cutting is your non-dominant hand. Okay. So with the hand that has the scissors, whichever hand that is for you, you don't do anything with that hand other than control the scissors. Okay. For me, if I'm moving to make sure that my cut is kind of smooth, as you can see, I'm using my left hand, the hand, non-dominant hand. That's what I'm using to turn the paper. I'm turning the paper, not the scissors. And that's what's helping me to get a consistent line around the flower. Okay. That's the first one. Why did I choose to fussy cut it? Well, I think for me, sometimes the act of trying to get the plates together, trying to get the die out, it just takes a little bit more time. And sometimes I just really want to get this done because I still have to go make my customers' cards for Mother's Day for tomorrow. To get that done. Beauty is I've done one already. Well, almost. Ha! I just need, and the idea for the second, it's already done. I just need to get it from idea to actual card. And that's not hard because guess what? I've already die cut it. I've already stamped and cut what needs to be stamped and cut. One more. And this one should go a little bit faster. The other tip for fussy cutting, you guys, is as much as possible, try to work with a little bit of space. Like this is too much for me space, too much extra. It gets in the way. And so typically I would have cut that off already so that it doesn't get in the way of when I'm trying to round corners. See, like that. All right, we're almost done with this card, yo. And then after we're done with this card, you guys, there's a technique that I wanted to try. And I'm going to try it with one of the dies. I think it's perfect with one of the dies in this set. But you can use it with any die. And the technique that I'm wanting to use is, I think they call it partial die cutting. That's exactly what they call it, is partial die cutting. I've never done it before. It's not supposed to be that hard. But it's another way, again, of getting more out of your dies. And who doesn't like to get more bang for their buck? I know I do. So if there's any way that I can make something do something else, that's just another use. And so it's just another use for something. So I don't have to go buy something else to do what this thing just did for me. Okay. So I'm going to try that if we have any extra time, and it'll just take a little time. I won't make the card, or maybe I will. I'm not sure. Aha. We'll see how we are with time. Okay, that's one. And then, oh, I could have put this one on there. I just wasted a whole lot of paper on this one. All righty. Again, only my non-dominant hand is used to move the cardstock. The scissors is just to advance the blade or the to actually do the cutting, but the non-dominant hand is what I'm using to turn and make sure that I have as close to a consistent border as I can. See right there, I just turned the paper. I didn't turn my scissors. I didn't do any of that. I just used my non-dominant hand to turn the paper so that my scissors now becomes in the right orientation for its next cut. That's 2. I know you guys didn't want to see me fussy cutting, but hey, all tips are great tips. So have you guys had the chance to go through your catalogs? If you don't have a Stampin' Up! Demonstrator and you'd like a catalog, please reach out to me. I'd be more than happy to have you as my VIP customer and get a catalog in your hands. Oh, and guess what? I forgot. I think I forgot last month, and I forgot. Well, I didn't forget last month. Last month's just ended, but I did not do it for March. I did not do my monthly giveaway for March. And so now I have to do one for March and April. So on Saturday, I'm going to do a quick live. And all I'm going to do with that is just to, I am just going to share with you who my March giveaway winners are and my April. I'm going to be giving away dies, or not dies, some stamps, maybe a little bit of DSP. I don't know, we'll see. And then I'm looking to put my next mystery stamping on the calendar. Sundays seem to be working for me. I don't know about you guys, if you guys have any thoughts about what works for you, but Sundays seem to be what's going to be working for me. So, and then I think I'm going to do maybe the last Sunday of the month. I'm not sure. Just thinking it through. If you guys have any preference at all in terms of mystery stamping, please feel free to share it with me. I would be more than happy to entertain. And if I can come up on a solution that everybody's happy, then hey, that works for everybody. The classes that I'm taking in the summer, I think they're all distance learning. I think that's what it's called, or asynchronous, I think it is, which means that they're all online. There's one that I'm waitlisted for that has a in-person class requirement, I think, but I'm waitlisted, so I'm not counting on that one. All right, so I think I'm done. I think I just need 2 of these in my mind. I have the others, so let's see where we are at. All right. So let's get the crack a neck in here. So what I'm going to do with this is I'm going to lay down just a little bit of color. And I think I'm going to go with the bubble bath. It's light. I might do all of them, but I'm going to start with the bubble bath. Right. Yeah. Just gonna go lightly in the center of the card. Give it a little bit of that wash look. lightly. My dogs are a little upset with me tonight. I just came in and I normally feed them by 7, but got a little bit distracted at 7, and then we had to be on by 8. So neither them nor I have eaten. So when I get off this live, they're gonna be like, "Mama, Mama," you know. All right, so here we go. So we're gonna lay these guys out, and I think I'm gonna have one here. I always try to lay things out first so that I know where I want things to be. So I think I'm gonna go from darkest to lightest. What do you think about that? Put this in here. Let's put this here. And the light one here. Then this one up here. You think about that. I think that's pretty cool. Do I need a third one? If I put a third one, it would be somewhere here, right? And then this guy can go here. What do you think about that layout? I think that's pretty cool. All right, well, let's get to putting. All right. So this is our first leaf, right? Then I'm gonna put our first flower down, like so. Okay, so we're gonna put this guy like that. And then I'm gonna pop him up. So I need the other one to come here. But I need this guy. Where's this gonna go? Okay. I'm gonna put this one here. And this guy is gonna come like that. This guy is gonna come like this. Yep. I'm gonna put this guy just about here. And then we're gonna pop him up. Pop him up. Oops. Then he's just gonna go right in the center like that. Amazing. Add him. I think I want the darker one. I need another dark one. So let's put this It's nothing wrong with the lighter one. It just gets lost for me. And so I'm gonna cut out a darker one and have that and put that one on the card instead of the lighter one. And then we're gonna just get the sentiment on, which I haven't stamped. I don't know if I'm gonna do. Becca, do we have any? We have birthdays coming up this month, huh? Don't we have some FFF birthdays? I think we do. I know. My dad's birthday is next weekend. My nephew's birthday was yesterday, y'all, and I completely spaced on that. So I've got to make a card for my nephew. My stepmother's birthday, my bonus mom's birthday was May 7th. She was on a cruise, so I don't feel too bad about not having sent her card. I don't. There we go. And that one's done. All right, you guys, so the main focal image of our card is done. I'm looking for my pin, which I put somewhere. And it seems to have disappeared on me, which is why this thing dries up. Okay, so this is what this is gonna look like. And I don't normally build my cards, but I'm gonna build from the bottom up this time because I need to make sure that the placement works. Okay. So the first thing I'm gonna do is this part is gonna be a little bit off kilter, like so. And then this guy is gonna come the other way, a little off, like so. So that will be the card, like that. What do you think? Okay, so let's get that done. And we know that this guy is going to go a little off kilter, like so. And then we know that this guy is going to go a little off kilter the other way, like so. Okay. And I'm not going to put the sentiment on this one, just because I really do want to get the chance to do that partial die cutting technique. Okay. So this is what this is going to look like. I am going to stamp a happy birthday that's probably going to come this way. And then put some gems on there. So that's the second card. And now I just really want to get to, oh, what did I do? I just made a mess somehow. There's my pin. All right, so with this partial die cutting technique, I just made a big old mess right there. Oh, and before I move on, I didn't do that anytime tonight. I gotta add my Winka Stella. Right? So that everything has a little bit of sparkle and shine. All right, so that's good for now. So here's card number 1. almost card number 2. And I'm excited to try this technique. All right, so I've already laid this out. This was the other die in the bundle, okay? And I cut this on, this is on a piece of 4 by 5 1/4. Okay, and so with that, let's get, now the thing about partial die cutting is making sure that your plate, how you align your plates, okay? So wherever you do not want to cut, you make sure that you don't have a cutting plate on it, right? So let's move this out of the way. So it's still going to be plate 1, plate 2, plate 3, cardstock. Now, where's my other plate? Where's my other number 3 plate? No, I don't know how I'm placing things. I mean, seriously. Just had it all. I just had the plate. Bear with me. I just had the plate. Well, isn't that a blip? All right, let me go and grab me another plate because I don't know where the plate went to. And people wonder why I buy multiple things. Well, that's why, right there. This was an old Sizzix one. I don't know if it'll go through. So let's hope. It might be a little bit thicker than the Stampin' Up ones. All right, so in this technique, I kind of don't want the whole thing to be cut. I just want, I want a little bit of it to be cut off. So I'm going to put my plate right about here. Make sure that's aligned. And that's what I'm going to do. I don't know that this plate will fit. Hopefully it's not too thick, right? Ah, it's not. And then you're going to just cut through. I think that's right. Yep. And because the plate was not on the other side, it shouldn't cut. Okay. Did it work? It surely did. It certainly did. All right. So this is perfect. So now what I need to do, a little bit of surgery is going to happen here. And this is just another use for your dies, y'all. Grab my little snips right here. And then the die that you just, your cutting plate kind of left a little bit of a line of demarcation, and you just snip that off. Right? And there we go. Let's put this aside. Make sure I put this back with the rest of the dies. And so we have this, guys. This is pretty much done. So here, what I'm going to do now, let me snip this guy off. And you can do this with any single die that you have. Any die that you have, you can use this technique, this partial die cutting technique. Okay? And so now what I'm going to do here, next thing, I know I said I was not going to make a card, but I am going to make a card. So I think I want to go with blue, right? Put this here. Change that. Let me clean the stamp off before I put it back in there. Mess up my beautiful work of art. Okay. And then I'm going to line this up. Make sure this is on the 6 line. All right. Then I'm going to line my sentiment up like so. Grab this. All right. I have my stamp at the my magnet, I think, at the bottom. Right. Make sure that's on the 6th. And I'm going to use, I want to use, what color? Blue is my favorite color, and I haven't done anything in blue for a little bit. So let me find my blue. VersaFine has a blue that kind of reminds me of Blueberry Bushel. And so that's what I'm going to use. Okay. So now all I'm going to do is add my ink. Making sure this is still lined up on the 6th. Okay. Perfect. Then I'm going to try to find my I know I had my embossing powders. I don't know where they went to. Y'all. Okay, I guess for tonight, Caron is not. Oh, that's what it is. I took I took my embossing powder with me to shoebox, and I did not bring it out of the car. So there you have that. So I'm just gonna heat set it. Then I'm going to find, because I hadn't planned for this card, it was just in my brain. So I'm just gonna do now, find me a piece of Blueberry Bushel cardstock. And I'm going to cut this piece. What do I do? 4. So I'm going to cut it 1/8 bigger. I'm going to do 4 1/8. So 4 1/8 by 5 3/8. 4 by 5 3/8. Okay. I'm just doing this really quickly because I had the idea in my head and I just want it to, I want to see it come to fruition. And so there we go. That's what's going to happen there. I'm going to step away for just 1 second. I'm going to run this through my Caron machine, the big one. So now that I have it run through the Caron machine, that means I have adhesive all over it. All right. So let's make sure. Next month. What's next month, Becca? Hello, Yvonne. I just saw that you popped on. Thanks for joining me tonight. Make sure that the adhesive is on here properly. What's next month, Rebecca? So I'm opening registration for my Stampin' Sip class. I normally do my classes once a month. During the spring semester, I took a break because I had Saturday classes, and that's when my I normally did my Stampin' Sips was a Saturday. And then of course I tried it on Sundays, and that just was not, it was just too much. And so for a big part of the semester, I just didn't have classes. But now that the semester is over, I'm doing my first class, and it's going to be at the Ruiz Library. I just got the confirmation that they allowed me to use the space, the conference room there. And it's going to be, I think it was the 24th. I put their information out on the registration. So it's the 24th from 11 a.m. to 1:30 p.m. Okay. And so now that this is on, I'm going to, ooh, we have another card maker in the making. All right, so let's get this lined up here. Oops. Make sure it's even. Use my little grid lines to make sure everything is even. Okay. Then let's go ahead and put this on. So just as another tip, because I didn't want to take more time, what I would have done with this is I would have run this again through with an embossing folder after I had stamped the sentiment, so that this wasn't so it just needed a little bit more texture for me. And then I go in with this piece, and all I do is I kind of dab off the extra. adhesive. All right, now we're almost done with the third card, and I think that's on crooked. You see why I typically use liquid adhesive, y'all? Because to my eye, this kind of looks a little crooked. And then we're gonna put that on there. And it would not be a Caron card without dimensionals. So I'm gonna bring my little 3M stickers back. One, because they're fast. They're pre-cut. They're fast, they're pre-cut squares, and they are ready to go. One, two, three. One. I just don't, I use so many because I don't like when you, I've said this before, when you get a card, if you have to, if it happens to go through the machines and you only have, then the machine tends to depress it. Wherever there's not even, and there's not a dimensional on it, it will sink it down. And I don't like that. I work too hard on a card sometimes for that. Of course, you can always tell the U.S. Postal Service not to machine run it through the machine, but who's to say they always listen to you, right? Well, guys, we are almost done with our creations for tonight. This is the Artistically inked stamp set and dies. It is no longer sold as a bundle in this catalog. It was a bundle previously, but this is the Artistically inked stamp and die, currently found on page 114, I believe, of the current annual catalog. If you don't have this stamp set, it's one that I highly encourage, highly recommend that you get. All right. So I will definitely be doing a little bit more partial die cutting. I love it as a technique. I do. And then, of course, I would add some other accoutrements on here. But there you have our 3 cards, you guys. I got to put a sentiment on this one, and all using the Artistically inked stamp and die. Good night, Becca. Thank you for joining me, and we are almost done. Again, if you are not a current subscriber to my channel, please like, share, and subscribe to my channel, and don't forget to click the notification bell to get notified when I go live or I upload and post a new video. Thank you guys for joining me, and happy stamping.